There's business and there's family business. And what is particularly special, making family business unique, is the relationships that family business comes with. So this week, we're talking about family business with a family that we have been associated with for 3 generations. You heard it right, 3 generations. Dilmah was launched by my father in 1985, September 1985. A few years later, we found ourselves in Warsaw. And in Warsaw, we met the son of Mr. Janusz Zbigniew Witomski. I don't know how I remember that, but and today we have with us Tomasz Witomski and his son Piotr. Tomasz and Piotr, we are thrilled to have you in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
1990, we met in Warsaw. We spent some time discussing what should happen. We talked of Dilmah, we talked of tea, the Polish love for tea, and finally Tomasz said, I will be your man in Poland. And we have never looked back since. Tomasz, tell me what it's been like to do business as 2 families united in one purpose.
Well, I would say it was a pleasure, and it was a very good business, because when you trust your friends, you trust also the product. And when you trust product, it's very easy to sell. So it began from trust. And I still remember how your father and you were telling me the stories about Ceylon tea, how it began and what's so important in tea and why it tastes so good. So for me, it was just, repeating to customers what you told us. And it was a really beautiful beginning.
But also it was a challenging beginning. And I must tell you, Piotr, one of the things, beautiful memories I have, it wasn't so beautiful at that time, but was your mother in a tiny Cinquecento, kind of a Fiat 500, and she had tea, Dilmah tea packed everywhere because she was making a delivery to Krakow. And she even had cartons on either side of her head so she could move. She could just see the mirrors, and she had to do this twice in one day because we had our man in Poland who was saying, you have to make this delivery. It was a spectacular time. Tell me a few of your memories, Tomasz, from this time.
It was a very nice occasion, what you said, because another part of it was that she parked her car at the premises of the buyer, and there were huge lorries around her small car, But I think people also understood that the most important delivery was from this small one. Yes.
And I think she even had a little trailer hitched up to the back of this Cinquecento.
Yes, sometimes it was, but the trailer was very, very big, so usually I trailed it behind my car. It was for really big supply at that time. But now when I remember the volumes, actually it was so that within first year we sold the volume of tea that we are selling now daily. So it was really a very nice beginning, but now we remember it, as something really beautiful.
One of my memories from that time is something that I often go back to because it was a difficult time, but I think we learned a lot. And I'll never forget the time you took me to meet somebody at the Warsaw Marriott. We came to the loading dock, and this guy wasn't interested in talking to us. So he took us into a tiny little office at the back. he said, okay, what do you want? What have you got? We showed a few things, we talked, and, please, sir, take our tea, please take our tea. And, these are memories that today I tell my son, Amrit. I'm sorry he couldn't join us today. He's not been feeling too well, but if he had, I would like him to hear these memories, because it is what makes the foundation of a business. So talking about foundations, Piotr, you came into a business which is filled with a lot of passion. Your father's passion, my father's passion, and you have come into it with the same commitment and passion that we have seen. So this is, how do you translate this legacy into something that you embrace? I mean, how did you adapt? Was it difficult?
No, it was not difficult, because it's authentic. And if something is really authentic, it's very easy to get to be engaged in. So for me and for the whole our company, this authenticity and the family values and everything that Dilmah stands for is so important, in our very core, in our hearts, that it was not an issue to get involved and to give our hearts and everything, our energy into it.
But talking about family values, something that over the years we've been friends and our relationship goes back 33 years. So over the years, some of the challenges we have faced is saying, people saying, I want cheaper, I want cheaper. But amongst all our partners around the world, you have a few who say, okay, give cheaper. But Tomasz, you never saw anything but integrity. And I think this is what my father, my family, my colleagues and I, we value so much, because we are perfectly aligned. Because there are two ways to do business, isn't there? There's the easy way and the hard way. But you always chose the hard way. Tell us more.
No, I didn't choose the hard way. It was easy for me. But it was nice also. This is what I started with. When you trust the product, you just look for ways for your customer to understand what you say. Yes, because the most important, most difficult thing is today. In part, it was also at that time, is to make these people interested in what you say. So you must find something that they will say, oh, okay, I didn't know that, and maybe, in fact, this is important for my business as well. Yes? So, when I observe what your father was doing, I still remember all those moments when we sat together and your father was telling me stories about his childhood, about how he started the tea business, etc. These were so important moments for me, also in a way of learning, how to do business and with integrity, honesty. And I decided, okay, I shall follow that. I shall never look at the possibility to just buy cheaper something, because it's cheap and maybe I can do $1 or $2 more of profit. These are not things that are really that important in life. The pleasure that you make somebody understand that this product is really, in fact, it's better, and its value is such that he should serve or sell the tea is the biggest profit from this business, I think.
So in the process, Tomasz, you built a business that is not just a passionate business, it's a formidable distribution entity. You integrated technology, modern methods, and really unconventional systems to ensure proper delivery, proper service, and of course respecting tea. So in that process, I mean, when we met, not wishing to tell secrets, but I remember buying that wonderful amplifier from you because you were distributing Pioneer equipment. So you learned along the way many of this. So it is essentially a self-taught through commitment. Is that correct?
Yes, I think you will agree with me that it is necessary to always learn. And yes, I learned, and I'm not ashamed to say that I learned also from our competitors. I looked what they do. If they did something good, I tried to even improve that, what they did. So yes, it was a lot, and on the way we all learned a lot. But I must say that when Piotr took over the management of the company, he introduced many techniques and more scientific, I would say, approach to running the company, at which I look and well, today I think probably I would not do it this way so good. Yes, so congratulations.
Piotr, when you have family values and a philosophy of family business, the priorities in business are usually not the same as what the books from Harvard and other business schools would normally dictate. What is your priority? What would be the top 3 attributes that you think are important in business today?
I believe it's communication, because you need to get you need to do it right for people to understand, as my father said. So for us, we live in a good times for that, because now the content marketing and such terms are really up to date. So we have the content. We don't need to invent it. We just need to do it right. And for me, the communication with our B2B clients and also with the customers is the most important thing for them to understand. Not only what is the difference, but to understand what is the world that we are inviting them into. And once they understand, and we need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, we cannot do that in 30 minutes commercial, for example. We need for them to really engage into the content that we are giving them. And if we can have this 10, 15 minutes with them, they will not only understand, but they will love what we are giving them, what we are providing. And the tea and your tea is an amazing and beautiful product. And when, for example, when we give when we are looking for people to our company, and we ask the main question, why us? They mainly send because tea and because Dilmah is a beautiful product to represent, to get involved in. So I think the communication for me is the most important thing, but not communication to talk louder or to talk more, just to say the right things for people to understand how beautiful product it is.
You started a shop, Herbata e Cava. How does this fit, and how do you justify it? Because you are in one of the main prime retail areas of Warsaw, and it is a beautiful shop. I had the pleasure of sharing knowledge of tea a few weeks ago. It was sub-zero, so the pleasure began once I entered and got my cup of Dilmah ginger tea from your very kind staff there. But how does this fit, and is that an important part of your communication?
Very much, because people can can really experience what we are presenting them, in the right place. Not only
also,
in
yes.
digital, not only through our partners and through the shops. You can, the shelves in most of the stores are really,
Very wide.
very not very wide. But in our shop we have the whole assortment, and people can come and see, okay, this is not only 2 products, this is not only 10 products, but these are like tens of products, and they ask us for the to explain why, what is the difference. And when we explain, then we have these 5-10 minutes for them to understand and to get involved in. So this is a really nice idea of having the place where people can really experience, not only read, but also to see.
Yeah.
And it's very important for us. This is one side of this. But also the idea was that we must experience what our customers experience in the market. Yes. So as a retailer and as a food service, yes, point. So it's valuable because we learn what these people face every day, and then we also learn how to react to their questions, their problems, how to explain, how to help them, yes, run their business with tea.
Piotr, do you enjoy tea?
Oh, very much.
So tell me, sometimes people use the word passion in a very empty, very marketing-aligned way. But what I find, and I know from my father, is that when you love something, you are inclined to learn more, to have better ability to innovate, and it connects to so many other things. What is the role of passion to your mind in today, in technology, in shopper marketing, etc., etc.?
That's a tough question. But I think you cannot do anything right without the passion. So the passion is the very starting point of something that you really want to do. If you do something without passion, I think you cannot succeed in that. And when the passion is there, you cannot not succeed. How to say it right in English?
You can't fail.
You can't fail, right? So what we are trying to do is to show the passion, and it is not really easy thing to show the passion, because everyone is trying to say all the right things about their product, and it is very rare thing to have the passion the passion to be behind the product. And in shopper marketing, in digital marketing, people are used to very short messages. And how to show the passion through a very short message, this is a very tough thing now to do. And we are still looking for a way to do that right.
So Tomasz, a question to you. In our journey of many, many years, many times we came across businesses or competitors that lacked passion, who were selling tea for profit. Did you ever feel that that was maybe something we should consider? Or did you always, because it was hard, it was difficult times. I mean, going back in those days, I know it was very challenging, because the business began in your own living room, in the Merrill, in this your apartment, which by the way was above a sex shop, so it was interesting environment. But taking the cartons up and storing it and having your warehouse in your living room, not easy. So in this environment, how did you react to the fact that so many of our competitors along the way, some who are still there, many who have disappeared, were in the business for the business rather than for the passion?
But first, please define what is profit. Well, you can measure profit in many ways. And, it is natural that you run business and you must have profit to live on and to develop. So the money aside, money comes with time when you do things right. But there are other profits which we enjoy and you enjoy, while those people who are only targeted at money, they don't have this feeling, of the joy, when you know that you did something right. Yes, that when you talk with the customer who is not interested, who serves some funny tea that is sold to him at several cents per tea bag, and he just doesn't understand the pleasure that comes with serving beautiful tea to a customer who will, taste it and will say, "Wow, it's really special." So you can't have this pleasure, in other teas. So the thing is that we found it quite early. Piotr started to sell tea as a teenager. Yes, he was still you were still in school, as I remember, when you sold first batches of tea, and so we understood it quite early, and we decided this is the way we want to run this business. Yes? Honestly, telling always the truth, and seeing people that they enjoy Dilmah Tea.
You probably had some really tough customers along the way. Tell us a story of one of your toughest.
I remember first talks with really big guys that came to Poland, and started with already several hundred supermarkets, and they were really tough. And this was the moment that we learned a lot, because this was talking with completely different people, with different approach, with different needs. We had to understand their way of thinking. Yes, and their way of valuing whether they want product or not, and it was completely different language and different way of exchanging information, with these people, but we learned.
And in a market where you have the highest density of supermarkets, that is supermarkets per head of population, I think you did incredibly well. So there's a ton of questions I would love to ask you, but I think we have to wind down for the moment. But I know you'll be back. I hope you enjoyed Sri Lanka.
Very much.
Very much.
Ceylon Tea Trails was enjoyable?
It's exceptional. I love it. And we enjoyed it. Even weather was not so nice, but still walks among the bush, the views are exceptional. And it was Christmas time. So the team prepared a very special dinner. They were wearing the Santa Claus.
Even the Santa Claus came. So,
Yes,
Oh, you had a Santa
he
Claus,
found
Sri
us.
Lankan
Yeah,
one.
he found
Yes.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, also, okay, excellent.
with balloons, which is exceptional, but very nice. It was. So it was really pleasure. But not only tea trails. We visited also the Wild Coast Lodge, and Piotr tell please, about the walk, nature walk?
Yes, it was exceptional, even better than the safari games. The 1 hour nature walk with the ranger at 7 o'clock in the morning, when we observed and get to know the little worms and flowers and so on, was really exceptional. Yeah, I recommend it to everyone.
You didn't mention the tea though. You said you liked the scenery, you liked walking in the bushes, but did you enjoy the tea?
In tea trays.
Don't tell me you drank coffee, please, Tomasz.
No, actually no. But it was different in tea trays and the Yala, because in tea trays they served local tea, freshly produced. So it's something that I love to experience. You know, it is like feeling this aroma in a factory, you know, at the estate. The aroma that you next look for in every pack of tea, and luckily it can be found only in Dilmah packs. But this is something very exceptional, and they served the Norwood tea, which was really nice. And next in the Yala, it was Vate, Dilmah Vate. They tried to persuade us to start with Ran Vate, Piotr.
But they didn't know who we were, so they recommended the Ran Vate, and I said, look, it's in the morning, I would rather have the Meda Vate. And he was like surprised a little bit and said, oh, you know your tea.
Well, it's true. I think many Europeans would like a light cup. I mean, I don't know, everybody's subjective. But yeah, also we have a challenge in near Yala, because you have brackish water, so very high salinity. So it's not easy. But I'm thrilled that you enjoyed. And I wish Amrit was here to enjoy this conversation. But before you leave, I'll be insisting that you book in the dates of your return, at which point we will meet again. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us for this chat about family business and tea.